All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. And today we're going to be organizing our 3D printer area. And we'll be using the honeycomb organization system to do that. And what's really cool about this is you can print all of the different parts, you can print different colors, you can print it all the same color, you can really get creative, not be creative, but the one thing that you can do is get organized. And hopefully today I'll take you through how to put the parts together, things to think about when connecting the different panels together, how to do different things in the slicer, some tips and tricks that I learned along the way. And hopefully this inspires you to get organized and hopefully to build one of these honeycomb organization systems for yourself. So with that, let's get started. All right, so the first thing let's talk about is these panels. So the orientation of these panels does matter, and you do need to decide that up front. I will say that using this edge along your sides seems to be a lot easier than using this edge. You do whatever you want to do on that one. Just make sure that you're consistent. So what I did is put this edge on the left, and you'll see that I have a hexagon here going up to the right. So if I flip this around, up and to the right, but if I flip it this way, I have down and to the right on those sides. So make sure that you keep the orientation square all of the time. So mine, I've kept this to the side and then up to the right with the hexagon. So that's how you do that. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind as you're putting these together is you will need pieces to snap everything together as it goes together. And you'll see if I flip this around, it doesn't fit where it needs to be. It's offset. All right, so I need to flip it this way and it lines up. All right, so we're going to need to take care of this connection here, the connection right here, as well as the panels that go through there. So a couple of the different connectors that you'll need is this two-piece connector. So that's really good to connect the two pieces together. So that's where that one would fit if we stuck it back in there. So it sticks together with the two-piece there. So that's really good on the edge, these two-piece connectors right here. These are really good on your edges. In the center here, where we're going to have another sheet here and another sheet here, these 4-hole ones work the best. And this is the orientation that they work the best in. Like so. That way it picks up this plate with one and it picks up this plate with one. And don't forget on the top here, we'll need a little two-piece. Now a couple of other pieces to keep in mind that are really good are these little screw ones here. So these are good when you measure out your wall here in the back, wherever the studs are, wherever you want to mount this thing to, these are really good to do that. So you can kind of put these wherever the studs line up, so you don't really have to be so precise with where you're putting this thing. Where the studs line up, where the plates come together, they also have this one that has this little screw hole there. So you can also use those where needed. For me, I think having, something attaching it to the stud at the top, in the middle, and at the bottom is going to be key as we go down the wall. All right, so I printed several of these in different colors, from white to yellow. I have black in the force, so what I'm thinking is in the middle, it might not look so good to have a contrast all the time. So I'm going to mess around with putting some of these black ones in the middle, some of the red ones on the edge, and different things like that. And I also have some of these single ones. So what these single ones are good for is whenever you want to put like a hook, you put the hook inside of this and then attach that to your honeycomb. Same with these little tray things over here. All right, so you put those in a little thing Or if it lines up with one of your connections there, that's also a really good thing to do as well. So I've printed a whole bunch of this stuff up. I have it ready to put it all together and get it installed. So why don't we go to the slicer and let me show you a couple of tips and tricks that I used to kind of print all of this stuff out. All right, see you in the slicer. All right, so now that we're in the slicer, let's take a look at a couple of things that helped me out throughout this print. So number one is you got to print quite a few of these panels, right? Depending on how big of the project you want and everything like that, you're going to have to print quite a few of these guys. So while those are printing, what do you do? So there's a cool thing that you can do to kind of get ready for the rest of the pieces that you have. So once you've mapped out how many of these that you have, how many of those 2-piece connections that you need, 4-piece connections, shelves, 1-hole things, the empty 1-hole things to hang everything, the pliers hanger, the cable hanger, all the stuff that you need to organize your stuff. Once you figured that out, keep this plate right here so you can spit these out, but you can still work on all of the other stuff that you need. And how you do that is by hitting this plus sign right up here, add plate. What that allows you to do is move over to this plate, and now I can start dragging and dropping the other different pieces that I need in order to build my system, right? So let's say I've determined that I only need these 3 pieces for an example. And let's go ahead and make those a different color so we can kind of see it a little bit better. All right, so now we have a different plate here, and we can keep adding plate after plate after plate, right? So, it stopped at 4 there. So you can at least do 4 plates. That's what I was using on here, is I had a couple of different plates as one was printing. You know, you need kind of a lot of these too. So, you know, you'll need to print multiple plates of this, multiple plates of this. You might have one with your shelves on it over here. You might have something else over here. All right, and you can easily remove these. So a good trick is while all of these are printing, go ahead and make up the rest of the plates that you need with the different colors of stuff that you need. That way everything's ready, and then you can just go and slice a plate. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of other things to do here. So the easiest way to get multiple ones of these is to right click on it, hit clone, and then, you know, just type in the number of how many of these things that you want. So for this, I want a total of 6. So we'll clone 5 of them. That will give me a total of 6. Right. Same thing with this one. Let's clone it. We want 6 of those bad boys. This one, let's say we only want 4. So we're going to add 3 to that one to get 4. Now, you'll see that this has kind of laid everything in a mess right here. And there's no way that it's going to print it, right? It's giving all kinds of errors because things are overhanging everything there. So the easiest way that I have found to organize all of this is to just use this button right here, which is the auto arrange. And that will arrange everything on the plate ready to go without you having to do a whole lot of movement on there. So that's pretty cool. That makes it way easier to do and way easier to print. Okay. Now, once you've got all of your plates, you've got your, your honeycomb patterns over here printing out, and you're printing those out. They take about an hour and 10 minutes on the high speed. They don't take all that long. And you got all of this ready. I did run into some problems with the textured plate on this build, and especially these little guys right here. And to some extent, these double ones right here. The first batch of them didn't do too well. It wasn't until I started to do these single ones that I started to run into an issue. And basically, you guys see how easy it is to get stuff off of the plate. The fan on the side actually started to blow this one off, and it made me fail a whole bunch of prints because of it. And it just started moving, and these single ones started to move. And they started to move, and print started to fail when I was starting to print a lot of these little single objects here. So this is a good tip and trick in the future. If you're printing a bunch of these little single object type of things here, you might run into a problem with them sliding around on the plate. Okay, so how I fixed this is I went to the brim, changed it to manual. It wants to make a 5mm brim around all of these, which I think is a little excessive. I changed this to 2 and did it that way, and that helped them stick to the plate without moving around and everything and the prints failing. Try it without doing the brim because it does take up, it's not a lot of material, but it does take up material. So give that a shot with your prints. And if you're printing small pieces like this and a bunch of them on a plate, and you start getting to failed prints because they're moving around, go ahead and add a little bit of a brim to them to help keep them on the build plate, and that'll help from the prints failing. Once I started to do the brim, I haven't had a failed print on these since, and the brim it takes half a second to pull that thing off of there. It's real easy to come off. So well worth doing. It adds a little bit of time on there, so I would definitely do that. Okay. All right, for my particular situation, it's important for me to find the studs so I can screw, a wood screw into them so this thing has some stability on the wall. If you're ever looking for a really good stud finder, Franklin Sensors, this thing right here is the best stud finder I've ever seen. The reason why is you'll see all those lights at the top there. Those all tell you the location of the stud. So as you can see, that red light moves with the stud. So it tells you where the edges and where the middle of the studs are. So if you don't have a stud finder, definitely pick up one of these Franklin Sensor ones. I think they're around 40-50 bucks on Amazon, but really handy to have and will help you get the location of your stud. All right, you'll see that I have it mounted on the wall. I got everything mounted to the studs. You'll see I use these single ones here, as well as on the right side over here. And you'll see that I did have a stud fall on those 4-piece ones. So I just did it on 2 of those right there. And it's very, very sturdy on the wall. Very, very, very sturdy. Is it going to hold up your 3D printer? No. Okay, let's not be silly. But will it hold up your pliers? Will it hold up your stickers for your build plate? Will it hold up all of your little cables and everything? Yes, it is definitely sturdy enough to do that. All right, so as you can see, in a relatively short amount of time, I was able to get everything off of the workbench there and up on the sheet. And I'll keep printing out shells and different things. I'll leave the link to the originator of all of this. And there is a remake session or section in there where I got a lot of these different things. So I would encourage you to look in that remake section, look in the original section for the different plates and the connectors and the wall mounts and all of that stuff. And really, I hope this inspires you to get to printing and to get organized. As you can see, I'm really, really happy with the results. Turned out really, really good. I'll keep adding to it as I keep adding things to my setup here. So a little bit longer video than normal. And no time lapses today, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you get out there printing. So thank you, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.